Hello, I'm Graeme Bibby, Chief Investment Officer. We thought it would be timely to give you an update on the situation in Ukraine with Russia invading. We think there's material implications for economies and markets as a result of this. There is not only the short-term, but the long-term implications to consider, and we look at this from both what was already happening in the world, as well as what happens normally with geopolitical events such as this. 2022 was going to be a year of change anyway, and we've already flagged that volatility was likely given the withdrawal of Federal Reserve support and also other central banks around the world, combined with less spending from governments post-pandemic. We believe that with the rising inflation pressures, this particular event in Ukraine with Russia will have further pressure on inflation. As a consequence, the longer-term implications for markets are that some assets will be reassessed with that further pressure on inflation and further rising interest rates at the short end. We believe that portfolios should be positioned somewhat more conservatively for now and look for opportunities in the future. We had already positioned conservatively coming into this year, slightly underweight risk assets, and now we're adding to that position. Within equities, we are positioning into more defensive companies in this period, and we'll look for opportunities to position into growth as the cycle returns later in the year. There is risk of policy mistake by the Federal Reserve, and we're watching that very closely, and we expect that we'll know more as data is released through the course of the year. In the interim, markets will be much more volatile, and there'll be a lot of scenarios that are played out by analysts in Ukraine for what Russia's intentions are and how that affects things. Most of all, it's about sanctions and oil and metals, commodities being affected. With that, we have a plan, and we've had a plan going into this, into the year, and we know how to manage for this. And what we'll do is continue to look at the data coming forward and adjust the portfolios as we go.